When Ouhan awoke, he was under a battered and broken piece of metal. It was the remains of his shield. The magics the shaman had worked on it must have saved him. Ouhan rose, stiff, and looked around. The entire area was stripped of any signs of life. It was all black, burned dirt, except Majora's body was right where Ouhan had left it. Should it not have been destroyed? He approached the corpse, warily, when it sprung up and clasped a hand around Ouhan's throat.
You fool!
Majora panted.
Do you realize what you've done? I'm dying!
Good.
Ouhan grunted, trying to pry the hand off of his throat.
No! You ruined everything! And the only way I can fix it... Ah!
Majora screamed.
It will set me back millennia!
Ouhan began to feel strange. He knew strong magics were being worked on him, but he couldn't resist them.
None of your white eye tricks!
Majora said. He appeared to be rippling.
We shall share fate! We shall both be seared! But I will find a host! And you will be trapped for all of eternity, you magicless fool!
Where Majora and Ouhan had stood moments before, two masks cluttered to the ground. Several millennia later, Link stood inside the moon holding a strange mask. Majora's mask had just given it to him, asking him if he wanted to fight the true bad guy. Link wasn't sure what that meant. He analyzed the mask for a moment. It had white hair, white eyes, and strange markings on its face. He had never seen anything like it. He looked up. Majora's mask, much larger than it had been before, hung upon the wall. He set the mask down and fired several arrows at it. They bounced off, with no effect apparent. He looked around. Maybe if he fired at the giant remains of the walls. He fired at them in the order he had beaten them. Nothing happened. With no other option apparent, he put on the mask. Changes racked his body. It was a familiar feeling, like the Zora, Goron, or Deku masks. What was unfamiliar, however, was not being able to move afterward. Was this a trap? Was this the mask's plan the whole time? Majora's mask came to life when he donned the mask.
Our great struggle concludes today. I have saved enough power that I am at my former greatness. And you are out of your shell for the first time since we fought.
Strange words spilled from his lips.
Ik nog feeling overlook, Majora.
Though the mask made no movements, Link sensed it roll its eyes.
Oh, please. You haven't even absorbed the language yet. Nobody speaks that anymore.
Alagora till now.
Ah, for the kid's sake then, hold still.
Link dropped to a knee and screamed in an unfamiliar voice.
You have stolen me from my family and worked one too many spells on me, Majora.
Link was saying.
I will destroy you if it's the last thing I do.
Giggled the mask.
Careful. You aren't just carrying you anymore. You've got a stowaway. Or rather, you're a hijacker.
Link felt another presence look inward.
You? Who are you?
Me? I'm Link.
Why are you in this body?
This is my body.
No, this is my body.
No, you're a mask. I put you on.
Silence.
Then Majora speaks truth. Where are we?
Inside the moon.
The moon? Truly he is mighty in this age.
Can you kill him?
I have no magic. I was unable to kill him before without it.
I have magic. Can you see it? My memories? How to use it?
I can see... Yes. Yes! I can kill him with this!
I can't defeat you, Majora,
said the other. The mask laughed.
Please!
It said.
You are nothing. I'll squash you both for meddling and take the world as my plaything, as I planned so many years ago.
No.
Said the other.
No, I think not.
He swung his sword 3 times, and bolts of magic flew from it. They struck the mask and electrified it. Stunned, it sank to the ground. The other began swinging at it madly, and where it connected, there was no wooden sound. Instead, it parted as though flesh and blood indeed came out. The mask rose and began to yell.
You dare to strike me?
The remains of the monsters Link had felled, animated, and began to float around the room. The mask shot out a ray of flame at Link. The other rolled to the side, making a great clanking noise with its armor. He fired more of the magical bolts at the mask, and it could not avoid them all. It fell, stunned, again. But as the other advanced, the remains began shooting their own magic at him. He ignored them, and to Link's surprise, they splashed over him with seemingly no effect. After beating on the mask several more times, it let out a shriek that knocked Link back. It rose and sprouted skinny legs, arms, and a cyclopsian head.
Never shall you defeat me!
It shouted. It began to run around the room quickly, occasionally stopping to fire lightning at Link. The other didn't move much beyond dodging the lightning. He waited for the mask to come closer, and suddenly he sprang into motion. With a mighty swing, he brought the mask's legs out from underneath it, and, with an overhead chop, he put a dent in the mask's body. It screamed, high-pitched. It flailed and kicked Link away. Its muscles inflated, its head grew, and great whip-like tentacles sprouted from its arms.
No! This is finished! You are finished!
The mask roared.
There are no stars for you to bring down today.
The other cried.
I have bested this form once, and I shall do it again.
He charged. The mask flailed its whips at him. They connected several times, denting the armor and gouging bloody furrows in his body. When he drew near, and one of the whips came down, he cut it off. The mask cried out in pain. The other jumped up and plunged his sword down through the mask's neck and down into his body. Link felt the other channel all the remaining magic he had through the blade. The mask cried out in pain and slumped over.
No!
It panted.
You can't!
I can and I will.
Snarled the other.
Today I avenge my family and my tribe. Today I avenge me. I bring my wrath down on you, Majora. How dare you tear me from my family!
He drew the sword out of the mask's body, beheaded it, and then plunged it through the carapace. With a final scream, the mask wreathed in its death throes, and then stopped moving completely. It was consumed by flame, and when the fires died, all that was left was a small wooden mask.
I came to serve,
panted the other.
And I have done my duty to my chieftain. Rot in hell, you sorcerer's bastard!
Link suddenly found himself in control of his body again. A ghostly image walked out in front of him.
I am Ouhan Sylben,
It said.
and I owe you a great debt. Of my own talents, I could not best Majora now or in the past. His sorceries were far too strong for me, even marked with the white eyes as I was to defeat. With your magic and by its aid alone was I able to defeat him.
Ouhan bowed.
I leave you my body. May it serve you well.
Where are you going?
Asked Link, his voice now his own.
To join my family and my tribe in the afterlife, in the embrace of the goddesses. Farewell, Link. May the wind always be at your back, and may you always find a strong weapon by your side.
Ouhan faded from Link's sight. Link pulled off the mask. He returned to his normal form and he held it in his hands. It looked less alive than it had before. Tatl came out from under his hat.
Thank the goddesses that's over,
She said.
Idiot! Why did you put the mask on while I was still in your hat? I got caught in the transformation.
Sorry,
Link said.
didn't think of it.
He looked at the mask again.
Do you know what Ouhan Sylben can read?
What? Yeah, I think... It's Hylian, I think. Really, really old. I think it translates into...
She thought for a moment.
It means fierce deity.
She said.
Fierce deity.
Link said, running his fingers over the mask.
Is that your name?
To his surprise, the mask quivered slightly in response.